Looks like I'm live. Cool beans. So, tonight I am painting some Tzeentch stuff. And so, like I said, these paint streams are going to be random and intermediate. Or intermittent. There we go. So, I hope anybody who tunes in, hope you guys are having a great evening. Oh, sorry, getting situated. So tonight, painting some blue horrors. And this is actually a test. That way, when I go ahead and use the blue contrast on my Lord of Change, I kind of know what it's going to look like. So I'm going to start out with some contrast blue here with some of my contrast medium. I have yet to use, it's Talisar blue specifically. Specifically Talisar blue. I have had a long day. Hey Jake, how's it going? Kiting's pretty cool. No, I'm glad, man. I'm glad the kiting did good for you. I can be right sometimes. I'm not always right. It just depends on the day. Wisdom comes with time, my friend. Wisdom comes with time. But no, I'm glad. I'm glad that the kiting worked for you. I'm not really going to ruin my Raven Guard game from today. Because like I said, I filmed it. But it was a good game. It was, I tested Mortarion against some Raven Guard with 2 Executioner tanks. So it'll be definitely a interesting battle report, I feel like. So, and then it will get out to you guys, and then you guys can all enjoy the beautiful battle report that I have prepared. Now you want some Helldrakes? Did you proxy some Helldrakes in the list? I'm definitely looking at getting 2 more Helldrakes. Like I said, though, that's a down the road thing, maybe. And so I've taken my contrast blue. I am now adding some of the technical contrast medium to it. And so what the medium does, if you guys have not done this, waters it down. It actually makes it a lot lighter and a lot, it doesn't pull nearly as heavily as it normally would. So as a matter of fact, I did all my pink horrors this way, and they actually turned out very, very good. I actually used the contrast blue over them, and then I dry brushed them. So that's actually the exact same way I'm going to do these blue horrors. I'm hoping that they turned out very, very well. Oh, okay. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Helldrakes. I'm super happy my wife bought me one. And like I said, it more or less broke the impasse because I wasn't sure what to go buy next. And now I know to go buy some more pink horrors. Or, sorry, I'm painting horrors right now, so I guess I thought of it. But yes, I have to go buy a couple Helldrakes now. So, can't wait to get them on the table. It'll be awesome. I will say they definitely would have been useful in the game today. Definitely would have been useful. Now, my second game today, though, so I had 2 games. Like I said, the first game I did film. And so I can't wait to get that one to you guys. But the second game I did not film. And so you ran 3 World Eaters Smash Lords. Huh. That's interesting. Haven't thought of that yet. But so the second game I played today was against a guy at the store. Never met this guy before. And it was probably the most awkward game of 40K I've ever had. Like, the guy wasn't really talking to me. So it was very... So as you guys can see, for anybody who's here, once you add that contrast medium to this, it actually lightens up the blue a lot. And so it actually makes them look, I don't know if the camera's picking up the effect very well. Yeah, it's not. But it makes them look, there you go. Makes them look very ephemeral. And so what it's going to do is when I highlight them or dry brush them, they'll look very, very nice. I'm actually really digging the contrast colors. They're very, very, if you use them appropriately, like they're definitely not what GW went out to do, but they definitely make for really quick painting of hordes. Now they do not replace traditional techniques. Like I said, I still highlight these guys, but I really like how the pink horrors turned out, and so I'm pretty much just going to do the same thing for all the blue horrors. Now I don't know what I'm going to do for my my second unit of brims. I was thinking of doing the same thing I did for my other brims, which was to make them look like little flames. But I kind of think like I want to make them blue flames so they stand out, or maybe purple flames. So, and we'll see. We shall see. Purple flames might be kind of cool. There we go. Yeah, no, be interested in seeing it, man. It sounds like you did a Corn Demon Engines list, which I can dig. I think I kind of tapped out on the game today, man. I was kind of drained after my 2 games. Then again, I also ran a PT test this morning. So first thing this morning, got up. My boss told me I was not allowed to run my PT tests for you guys who are not in the military. So occasionally you have to take a test for your physical fitness. And so if you guys haven't noticed on the stream lately, I've been getting thinner, and that's because I've been working out quite a bit, a lot, as a matter of fact. And so, so first thing I did this morning, I woke up, and my roommate, he is a PTL, which is a physical training leader. And so my boss told me I was planning on doing this Monday, but he's like, no, you can't do it on Monday. You got some other stuff going on. So I was like, all right. And so my roommate was nice enough to say, hey, man, we can show up to work on Sunday or Saturday, and we'll knock it out. So showed up today, and so I'm super proud, super proud. It's a good day. So hard work does pay off. And so with me going to the gym obsessively twice a day, every day, for a while now. So I've lost 10 pounds, which is great. I was able to lose an inch on my waist. So for the Air Force, you actually do get scored on your waist size. And then I was able to run an 11-minute, 10-second mile and a half, which was great. Really good. And then I was able to max out sit-ups, which you have to do 54 sit-ups in a minute to max it out. So I got that done. And push-ups, I was not able to max out. I'm really bad at push-ups. But I did get like the second highest, I guess. Not tier, but I got close to max points on it. And so because of that, I scored what is called a 90. So it's a percentage-based scale. And if you score 90, you only have to test once a year, so which is awesome. So that means I will not have to do my PT test until next year at the same time, which is awesome. However, I need to keep going to the gym, so you guys got to keep me honest. I got to keep going to the gym. So, but no, I'm glad, Jake. I'm glad the Demon Engines worked out well for you, man. And yeah, we can definitely talk more about that. But, so like I was saying, so my second game today was probably the most awkward game of 40K I've ever played. The guy was not interactive any way, shape, or form. And so I brought a test Mortarion list that I'm just kind of dinking around with, getting used to Mortarion, and getting used to like some other units that I've recently acquired. So it was kind of just a way to get all of these models all into one list. And so I'm messing around with them. And I mean, this guy, like, he would move his tape measure like 2 inches past the 2 inches past the models, and like move from there. And like, he really didn't know his rules. He was mumbling to himself constantly, and like I couldn't like hear him. A few times, like, he got kind of snappy with me because, as an example, you know, he's playing a Master of Possessions. Oh, this thing is not focusing. Let it refocus. Sorry. There we go. Ha. Oh. Ha. All right. But so he's being incredibly snappy. So he was playing. Sorry, he was playing a Master Possessions with a old school sorcerer, which is pretty much the size of one of these blue horrors, right? And so I wasn't aware because he didn't show me the list before we started playing. Like, he just put down models and started playing, which I'm fine with. Like, okay, whatever. It's a pickup game. I've never played this guy before, so all right, whatever. You put down your models, let's play. And so he starts rolling spells, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna cast Cursed Earth," and he starts doing like the Master Possession spells, and all I see in the back is a normal Chaos Sorcerer. And so I asked the guy, I was like, "Oh, hey, so is that acting like your Master Possessions?" He's like, "Well, yeah, but, you know, these are the only models I have, and this is what I'm going to play with. I've got like 10 of these sorcerers, and I'm not going to buy anything else new from GW because I don't see the difference." And so, like, I wasn't even like commenting on the fact that the guy was running the wrong model. That was not why I had mentioned it. Why I mentioned it was I just wasn't aware. And so because this guy goes on this tirade pretty much at me, like I was attacking him. So I get snippy right back with him, and I told him, I'm like, so actually there is a huge difference because a Master Possessions model is about 4 times the size of that sorcerer that you're using. And as a matter of fact, my buddy or my roommate, he does not play 40k, and so I actually brought out one of these little blue horrors, which, like I said, are pretty much the size of an old school sorcerer if you've seen one. And put it up next to my my Master Possessions. He's like, "Yeah, that's a pretty big difference." I was like, "I know," but I wasn't trying to be snippy to this dude. So then, at that point, I decided to start being snippy with him, because like the guy just immediately jumped, like he got out his jump to conclusion mat and was like, "Oh, you're attacking me and you don't like my model." It's like, no, that's not at all. Not to mention, you know, all of his possessed were on the 25 millimeter bases, and I mean his like all of his Forge Fiends didn't have bases, so I wasn't caring about that. I was just curious as to what he was running. So, but yeah, it was a super awkward game. Ended up just completely demolishing this dude's army to the point where I think I'd lost both units of Brimstone Horrors. I had lost both my units of Brims, and he had lost pretty much his entire army. So, which was pretty... I mean, it was comical just because the guy, you know, was pretty much being a douche once we got to the table. But, yeah. And he was running, so it was an odd list, so I'll just kind of talk about the list because I thought it was interesting what he was running. He had 20 possessed. He had 4 greater possessed. He had an Exalted Champion. He had 3 Demon Princes, 1 Nurgle, 1 Tzeentch, or 1 Nurgle, 1 Khorne, and 1 Slanesh. And 3 Forge Fiends, and then a unit of Havocs. So it was obviously the Master Possessions. So it was a really odd list, and yeah, I mean, I thought it was interesting, and it seemed like he was trying to do something interesting. Now I will say the so like the possessed, because the we were playing one of the book missions, the one where it removes the invulnerable saves if you're within 12 inches of that center objective. So I stayed outside of 12. I did not move. And he moved his entire army right on top of that objective and was coming right at me. He was playing, which I didn't think Renegade Chapters was the thing, but it is in Battlescribe. So he was playing Renegade Chapters for the Advance and Charge. I told him, hey man, you might want to run like Red Corsairs. And, he just mumbled something at me and just kind of kept doing his thing. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't an impressive list at all. I zoned him out. He was able to charge 2 units of Brimstones turn 2. Killed all of them. But at that point, I had killed every single possessed on the board, which I thought they were fearless. I guess they're not fearless. But, between smites and all sorts of other spells, and then dropping a Hellforged Scorpius on top of them twice in a row, I actually killed 11 from the unit, and then with morale, all but 3 ran away. So, yeah. So that was my experience with Possessed today. Was I pretty much killed them all, and then and obviously the Forge Fiends. Forge Fiends are so terrible, absolutely so terrible. I've never built one, and looking at them on paper, I was like, oh, these guys aren't impressive, but actually seeing them in action, they are really, really bad, like really bad. I think so. He shot him 2 turns in a row at Mortarion, and I think over those 2 turns he hit Mortarion like twice, maybe 3 times, and did like no damage to him at all. So. And that was about it. Obviously, it was like a suboptimal list, but the guy had no after turn 2, I had killed so much of his army. He like packed up, and I like reached across the table to give him a handshake, and he just gave me like an awkward look, and then he packed up his stuff and just walked out. And then my friends that I hang out with at the shop, I was like, who is that guy? Like, he was acting kind of weird. And they said, yeah, he's always that way. So I'm always of the belief to always try to play new members in my shop at least once. I'll play everybody at least once, but I'm slowly starting to find the guys that I don't want to play again. And so now I'm making a list of guys to avoid. Like, all right, this guy was either awkward or he didn't play in a way that I enjoyed playing. Because, we should enjoy the game. And if I don't enjoy playing somebody, I kind of don't feel like I have to play somebody. So, and that's kind of the way that I'm going to live my life when it comes to 40K playing. So, and I'm sure we all have guys at our shops that, you avoid playing. I've heard stories. I mean, I've only had one game where it was so bad that I actually quit, and this was actually like my 2nd or 3rd game of 8th edition. The guy was like abusing the rules so bad, like moving through models and because he knew it was like my 3rd game, so he was like lying on rules, like, oh yeah, like he was playing the Squigoth, the giant Squigoth, the Forge World Squigoth. And he's like, oh yeah, this has like a 4-up invulnerable save and a 3-up save, and like making all these rules up. And he went to go smoke, and one of the guys at the shop, because I was new at the time, came up to me. He's like, hey man, he's straight up lying about these rules. You might want to check him in Battlescribe. So I got in Battlescribe, checked out the giant Squigoth. I was like, oh, sure as crap, he's lying about tons of these rules. And so he came back from smoking, and I didn't call him out, because I didn't feel right about it. But what I did do is, next time I shot at it, and he's like, oh yeah, it has this save. I went ahead and I was like, oh no, I checked your rules, man. It doesn't have that. It has this. And he's like, oh no, this character over here gives me it. So like yet again, he was lying to me about, another model giving him like a certain save or some crap. It wasn't a custom force field. Trust me, it was not a custom force field. And so he kept doing this. And my daughter was with me at the time. And she told me that she's never seen me that angry at somebody. And I straight up threw up my hands. I think it was like turn 3. It had gotten to the point where like, so he was moving models through other models to do charges. So like he was charging bikes over things and under his squig off and doing all sorts of craziness. And like I told the guy, I was like, look, you won. And this is when I would do written battle reports. And that is the only time I've ever quit a game and refused to write a battle report for a game. Because it was so bad. I was like, dude, if you want to win, that's fine. I quit. And then that guy actually got blacklisted not too long after that game, as a matter of fact. I mean, it sucks to blacklist somebody, but I guess they'd had problems with the same guy for going on quite a while. And he's taking advantage of new players and, basically clipping baby seals. And so, and that's why I think I'm so hellbent. Like, I was really salty the other week when we were trying to teach a new guy how to play, and we did a 4-player game. And one of the guys in the shop that was part of the 4-player game decides to pull out Kraken Gene Stealers. So we had 750 points apiece, and he pulls out Kraken Gene Stealers, and the guy who's brand new was playing Necrons. And I literally looked at the guy, and I was like, what is your problem? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? He's like, what? And I was like, this guy is brand new. What are you trying to teach him? Like, just how to lose? And he just didn't see a problem with it. And I was like, to me, and he literally knew. It's not like he didn't know. I told him, we are teaching this guy the game. And at that point, you should be pulling out stuff like Termagants or, I'm fine with you bringing a Hive Tyrant or whatever. That's fine. You bring one big beastie or something fun. But he went straight to Kraken Gene Stealers with Swarmlord. Let's go ahead and run over this guy. And I was like, I just shook my head. Luckily the guy enjoyed the game. We only got through turn 2. And luckily the guy enjoyed the game enough that he actually messaged me. He actually went and bought Chaos stuff because he actually liked the way my stuff looked. And so now he's playing Chaos. So he has reached out to me and he's like, hey man, would you mind teaching me some Chaos stuff? I was like, yeah, sure. And shared the channel. So hopefully he's out there. Hopefully I think his name was Thomas or something. So, but yeah, hopefully he likes it. So sorry, I'm not ignoring you guys in the chat. It's just trying to focus on getting this blue on these blue horrors before I run out of blue. Because this stuff dries so fast. I just want to kind of get it on these guys to let them start drying. So tonight, I'm working on these blue horrors. And then, I don't know if you guys can see them, but I have some flamers. Yeah, you guys can't see them. I have some flamers right here in front of me. And then I have 2 HQs. I have my converted. So I converted 2. So I have 2 different change casters. Now, one of them is made out of a pink horror. So I actually can treat him as just a normal pink horror if I want to, like the iridescent horror. So I'll probably paint him a different color. And the other one is a magnetized guy, and so he can be part of the Fate Skimmer. He can, like if I wanted to, I could get him a disc. He could be the disc one, the Flux Master, I think that's the name of that one. But I am a huge fan of these contrast paints. Can't lie. They definitely help with these types of models to get them done really, really fast. Especially because, pinks and blues and stuff like that, they are dynamic models, don't get me wrong. But they're not meant to be like, they're meant to be like a solid color with some highlights, and that's what they are, right? So works really, really well for these. Plague Bearers, I don't know. I used the brown one. I should have thinned out the brown a little bit more, though. I think I did the brown a little too dark. Alright, let's see where we're at. Alright, so you're taking yoga for gym class. Good game, computer major. That's pretty funny. But hey, see that you run every morning, so that's great. You like to run distance runs, Jake? So I like distance runs. I like to do 4 miles. 4 miles is kind of like my jam. I'll run around this area right here, and then I'll run like another 1.5 miles, or it's like 1.1 miles, and then I'll run back. So it ends up being 4 miles. I think it's a nice, like, it's a number that's attainable. It's not something that like stresses me to a certain limit. Like the longest I've ran was like 7 miles, and I think I was good. I was good at 7 miles, and I'm good. I don't see myself going to like a half marathon or anything like that. So, so yeah, he was actually putting himself at a disadvantage by cutting back on the aura. So, which is true. But like I said, he was being a straight. My paintbrush fell. He was being a straight douche about the fact that I was asking about his models. Like, he was assuming that I was asking because he was using the wrong model. No, it was just I was curious. I was curious why he was using it, or if that sorcerer was the sorcerer or whatever. And that's part of like when they don't show you their list, you know. So, but yeah. Sorry. Love the Hellforged Scorpius, running 2 in an easy mode list until I kind of work out my Demon Engines list. So the Hellforged Scorpius has kind of been hit or miss to me. And it's more or less because I don't give it reroll auras or anything. So today it almost killed a Repulsor. So I'll kind of ruin that bit of the Raven Guard. It almost killed a Repulsor. It did kill a bunch of Eliminators though, which was really, really good. And then against Iron Hands, so Iron Hands, when they make a 6-up Feel No Pain, it actually kind of nullifies the effectiveness of the Scorpius. So it's really good at removing those 2 wound guys. But when they make one of those 6-ups, now you have to hit it twice to kill it. So I find Iron Hands is kind of annoying to use it. Now, I've only gotten 2 games with it. So, and I got to try some different lists. You guys will see like the Mortarion list that I'm testing out right now. It's obviously not optimized at all. But it's just something to give me, like, I'm learning, and it's taking me outside of my comfort zone. It's completely different from what I normally play. So if it seems a little awkward, that's because it is. And I'm testing some things out. Changeling I'm not a fan of. I will say he's totally not worth the 100 points. I have tried him so many times. And as a matter of fact, today, I don't make one single 6-up Feel No Pain on my horrors at all. And so it was like 100 points wasted. Like, you use 100 points giving me 1 spell a turn, functionally. So, I don't know. I don't really think I'm a fan of that guy. So we'll see what happens. I think I'm going to take him out. So, sorry for the box of text. I'm also painting. Good time. Nice. No, I'm glad, man. I'm glad that you were able to make it out. And so, what are you painting? You never said what you're painting. I'm interested to hear what you guys are painting. So, obviously, right now, I've gotten my Blue Horrors all based up. So, hey there, Dave. Glad to have you, buddy. Glad to have you. There's one guy at your local shop that is such a jerk, and he always winds up at the top table. Yeah, I think shops can have... So, luckily, I'm at a shop... all of our competitive guys, there's not one competitive guy. There's one guy that I dislike playing, only because, like, he's always meta chasing. Every single time he has the newest, bestest army. He's a complete meta chaser. That I don't fault him on. What I fault him on is, like, he doesn't really joke with you when you're playing. Like, he's a good player, but I just don't like... I like to banter a little bit. So I actually have a lot of fun playing my buddy Josh. I have fun playing Alex, my buddy Alex. So he's a lot of fun. He's really serious when he plays, but he will still make jokes, so which is good. I love playing my friend Riddick. He's a lot of fun. Willie, he's hilarious. So there's a lot of guys at my shop that are really good to play. It's just there's a few guys that to me, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just a difference of personality. So maybe that's it. Buddy of yours gave you a 2007 Greater Demon Nurgle, and that was a joy to paint. Oh yeah, I love the old Greater Demons. Those make amazing Demon Princes. So back in the day, I played with those too in 5th edition, and I still love some of those models. Some of those models are still near and dear to my heart. Now I won't lie, I think like the newer ones are definitely a step up, like a huge step up. I love the Lord of Change model. Like he's sitting here staring at me right now, and that's actually part of why I'm doing this. So I'm testing some of these contrast colors on other models because this is giving me an idea for how they turn out. That way, when I start touching paint to this Lord of Change that is staring at me literally right here, I'll know kind of what I'm getting myself into. So the idea is to do like a watercolor paint. So and as a matter of fact, so I can kind of show you guys these pink horrors. So this is actually exactly the effect that I want. If you can tell, this is like a very it looks like a watercolor blue. And this is actually exactly what I want for this Lord of Change that I want to do. So, which is awesome. So this idea actually came from my friend Riddick. So thanks, Riddick. I offered to let him come to the stream. So hopefully he pops up. I don't even know what his name is on YouTube, but it was actually his idea. He's like, hey man, so because I was explaining my idea with the watercolor Lord of Change, and he's like, you know, those contrast paints can do that. Because I was talking about doing wash paint, like, because wash painting with wings and stuff like that kind of gives the same effect. And he's like, you know, you can do that with contrast, and as a matter of fact, it's going to give you those nice low lights that washes tend to like. Washes are really good at doing kind of the same effect, but they can get really glossy, or they like to run and pull up in areas, you know, because they dry kind of slow. So he's like, you know, if you do it with contrast, it might give you better results. And as a matter of fact, these horrors have turned out really, really good. Like, I really, really like how they turned out with the watered down contrast. So I'm kind of excited. I'm getting excited to paint this Lord of Change. Can't wait. So I actually need to run a wet brush over him now. Yeah, so thank you to Sean. So Sean was my my buddy that I played. He was playing his Iron Hands, and he's a really good painter. So he said, you know, if you get grit on your models, go ahead and actually use like just a wet brush and just rub it over the model real quick, and it'll get all that grit off of them. So I need to actually do that to this Lord of Change. So I might disappear for a minute to go get fresh water. Here's my little water cup. It's blue right now. Get some fresh water to do that if I decide to try to tackle the Lord of Change, which I don't know if I'm going to get that far. So, but yes. So you're a distance guy. 8 is your limit, but you like 3 or 4. Yeah, no, that's good. Varies depending on how much time you have. The Help for Scorpius plus Purge Lord with the Purge Warlord trait is gold. Wait, isn't the Purge Warlord trait rerolling? No, reroll wound rolls a 1. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good combo. It's something, I guess it's worth it because you're running 2. So, no, I could definitely see that. So that's definitely clever. Now, I'm probably not going to ever have to. I'm not going to lie. I'm probably never going to acquire another Scorpius. So, but yeah, no, that's a good idea. I like that. So, and I read Corsair's Greater Demon or Greater Possessed. You know that I have 2 of those. So, man after my heart. No, that's great, Dave. I'm glad that you're using him as a demon prince of Nurgle. So, did you get some wings on him? Did you add some like little fairy wings on him or something like that? I've seen some ridiculous greater demon conversions from the old ones. So, alrighty. So these are some flamers of Tzeentch right here. And so for the flamers, I think I just kind of want to do a blue down to a yellow. Yeah. So this is where we start practicing some techniques here. So basically, I'm going to try to fade the yellow into the blue here. And so I'm doing this because the blue horrors are still drying off to the side. So. No, that's awesome. What kind of wings are you going to use, though? Like, what ideas do you have? Are you going to try to get some plague drone wings for them? Or are you going to do little teeny wings? Are you going to get some massive, ridiculous zombie dragon wings for them? I like hearing the amazing things that people like to come up with. Because y'all have some cool ideas. As a matter of fact, so these paint streams are great. And I'll tell you guys, there's been a lot of times I'll sit here and talk to you guys, and people actually give me ideas on how to do stuff, or some ideas on techniques that I haven't tried. It wasn't Raptor Lacrosse. Who was it? I'm sorry. I can't remember everybody who's on the streams every time. But anyways, one of the viewers on the last when I did Mortarian's wings, he's the one that actually gave me the idea on how to do Mortarian's wings, by suggesting basically putting water on the wing before I put on the washes, so that way I can go ahead and fade the colors in, because by using the medium on the wing first, it keeps it wet, and so it allowed me to basically streak the colors together, and it didn't dry too quickly. So I'm actually not, so just for the Tzeentch things, I am using contrast right now. Now this is actually more because my buddy Riddick recommended this as a way to get the effect that I want, which, like I said, because the blue horrors turned out, because I'm going for a watercolor effect, and so because the watercolor effect requires basically really super light paint, like I need paints that are going to dry super light to give it that painted look. These contrasts are actually exactly, like I said, I'm heavily watering them down with the contrast medium, like heavily. Like they're probably about 4 shades lighter when I'm done mixing them. So but yes, so for these Tzeentch models, I am using contrast today. So if you wanted to see, like, I painted Mortarian the last few streams, and I used 0 contrast on him. So for these flamers, I'm going to kind of go about 3/4 of the way down the body. So I'm trying to be quick. So I'm kind of doing it, yeah, about 3/4 of the way. I'm going to go about halfway down the arms. Can you guys see? Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to adjust the camera after this one, just to kind of... But I am a fan of these contrasts, not going to lie. I was kind of skeptical of them, but if you use them like I said, you can't just slop them out of the pot. I did that with the one unit of my plague bears, and they look like absolute shit. Not gonna lie, they look pretty bad. To the point of I kind of don't want to deal with them. So now they're sitting in a box over on my shelf. I do obviously need to go back and finish them, but all right. So I kind of went 3/4 of the way down the body. I'm trying to be quick, and now I'm gonna take the yellow. And I'm just kind of mixing the yellow with the blue. Oh, nice. Ooh, that's pretty cool. I like that. And I'm dabbing it off kind of as I go. Oh, this is going to look really fucking cool. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, it's going to look so good on that Lord of Change. I can't wait to show you guys like what this is turning out like, because this is some cool shit. Oh yeah. I can see that you guys are typing out stuff. I cannot respond right now because I need to get this done while it's still wet. So oh yeah. Riddick? I'm gonna have to buy Riddick like something, because this is going to be cool as shit. There's so many people. So I'm gonna actually have to water down the yellow a little bit more on the next guy that I do. But this is the first time this is literally the first time I've used the blue or the yellow contrast. So I'm getting the yellow. So basically I'm butting the yellow right up to where the blue is at. And then I'm going to show you guys what effect this is doing, and this is exactly what I want to do with the Allure to Change. Like, this has me super stoked to actually start the Allure to Change, because now I know it's going to do what I want it to do. And then my my flamers will kind of have a similar effect on them. All right. Oh, I need a little bit more. A little bit more yellow over here. Sorry. And so, hopefully you guys can see this. Let's see if we can. There you guys go. So guys, can you guys see? Yeah. Sorry, it's trying to focus in. Come on, camera. Sorry, still trying to. Oh, man. Trying real hard to get you guys to see this. Oh, man. So can you guys see? So it's like a gradient. So it's changing from blue down to green down to yellow. And so it actually I was trying to get it so you guys could see it really, really well, but yeah, so it kind of did a wet blend just by watering down two contrast colors and just kind of making them meet. So like I said, I did the yellow up to basically where I did the blue, and then I just kind of like brushed it into it, and now I've got like a blend from blue to yellow, which is really, really cool. I like the way that turned out. So and so I'm going to do that for all three of these guys right here. Like I said, this makes me really excited because that means I'm going to get exactly the effect that I want on the Lord of Change when I go to do them. So I think it's going to look really, really fucking cool. Really fucking cool. So thank you, Riddick, if you're out there, for this idea. And it's funny, too, because people will have these ideas and be like, hey, why don't you try this? And they've never tried it themselves, and it actually works. So, and obviously this is working. So, trying new ideas while on stream. So, let's see. Sorry, I said I was going to respond to the stream. And then I started painting another model. Super dainty fairy wings. Yes, that'd be hilarious. Somewhere out there I saw single nurglings with wings. I was going to do a few of those. Yeah, no, actually. Oh, that's a good idea, Dave. No, if you do that, I need to see that, man. You need to put that on the Discord channel if you're part of it. That'd be awesome. That's a hilarious idea. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, Marines, sad day. Well, I'm glad it looks cool. Hopefully you actually think that it looks cool and you're not just saying that to make me feel better. But no, I think it looks fucking sick. So I can't wait. Like I'm excited to get these flamers to a point of completion. Now, obviously, I'm not going to leave these guys exactly. So I still recommend, even though that effect is really, really neat, I'm still going to go through. I'm going to still highlight these. So highlighting just brings out so much of the model, and you just kind of have to. Like, I'm not a low lady kind of guy, but I will highlight the hell out of a model. So I have heard of people low lighting models like crazy though. I think that's more for like the super good painters out there. My buddy Joe, man, so if you guys want to check him out. He's got a stream. It's called Papa Bears or Papa Bears Dark Gaming or something like that. Um, and he is an excellent painter. I kind of wish he did painting streams. He kind of just paints, and then his videos are mostly of like product reviews and stuff. I've told him, man, you should do some painting streams of what you do, but his channel's been kind of silent. But his Facebook page is always busy, so he's always posting new stuff up there. But he is a fantastic painter. He loves to do the non-metallic metal stuff, which is super impressive looking, especially in person. I definitely do not have the patience or the skill to pull that one off yet. But also, I don't like my armies to look that way. That's just not my... It looks super incredible, but it's not the way I paint. So, because if you see my painting, it's more... I try to go for more gritty and realistic, like these models are real. Now, I'm still not like the best, but definitely not the worst. I've actually been getting a lot of compliments. A lot of people have commented on my Mortarion lately, which we just finished last stream. Actually, I finished it while off stream because I got so wrapped up in painting him that I just wanted to finish him. And so I didn't really have time to stream, so I just went ahead and just completed him off stream. But he turned out really good. I showed you guys last week on the live stream. Sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit. Just kind of... I had to do a speech in front of the whole unit. So when we graduate our students, we always have a guest speaker. And wasn't able to secure anybody this time, so I had to go ahead and give a speech for the unit. Which is fine. It's just, yeah. You have to get up in front of like 50 people and give a little hoo-ha, you know? So. But it's fun, though. I like doing it. Our students like it, too, you know? Because you get to give them some parting words of encouragement. It's kind of like a, graduation ceremony for college. It's the same general deal. This guy actually has a lot more green on him than the last one, because now I'm starting to get used to the way it looks. And so I wish I could see it from y'all's angle to see. But as you guys can tell, there's a lot more green on this guy than there was the last one. So, and he's going to go off to the side to dry. So where are we at? Space Marines, they kind of make everything pointless. Yeah, Marines are rough right now. We just got to get through it, right? We'll just pull together like we always do, and we'll find things that work to combat the Space Marine menace, and all will be well after, hopefully, chapter approved. I'm hoping we see a lot of points drops and a lot of rebalancing, you know. I have a feeling Eldar is going to see drastic point drops. Now with Yanari being nerfed, I'm surprised that they didn't kind of go behind and just, bring back up point or bring down points of Dark Reapers or those sort of things, which I know a lot of Eldar players are waiting on. And so we'll see. I have a feeling Chaos is going to get a lot more point drops than we are going to get point buffs. I know a lot of people were like, oh, Plague Bearers. And it's funny, too, because a guy came up to me at the shop. He's like, oh, hey, James. So you're not going to be able to run those Plague Bearers anymore after December. And I looked at the guy and I was like, I'm not really running Plague Bearers now. And also I don't have a feeling that they're going to get nerfed because you know how many people are using them? Nobody. So, because Marines have more or less negated Plague Bearers for the time being. So, now I don't think they're going to get a point drop by any stretch of the imagination, but I do hope, though, I'll be kind of excited if Demonettes get a point drop, or you know, I don't think that'll happen though. I don't know. I don't foresee that happening. That'd be weird. But I would be happy with it. Or if Horrors got a drop, ooh, Horrors. Just pink Horrors. I'm not saying the other Horrors. But I don't think that'll happen either. Horrors are really good, man. Really, really good. I love my Horrors. Love them so much. As a matter of fact, I love Horrors more than Plague Bearers. Not gonna lie. Horrors are my new favorite demon unit. They just do so much work. And they cover so much board. Like, when you deep strike that unit in, man, they just overwhelm an area. And it's funny, too, because people will dedicate so much firepower to removing that unit. And really, they just kind of drop in, they do their damage, and they usually die. But there was one game, man, that they just refused to go down. Because that 4-up invulnerable save, it's no joke. I'm really bad. I roll statistically below average a lot when it comes to massive units like that. So, yeah. So sorry. Like I said, I can see the streaming. I was started answering questions and I got into painting this guy. God damn it. I am like the worst streamer ever. It's okay. As long as you guys still hang out with me. And today I did have to send in a picture of all my conversions for my GT. So like I've been spoiling, I am taking my demon engines to a GT. We'll see how I do. Like I said, my goal is 3-2, but if I get better than that, that'd be amazing. I don't know. If I can get 4-1, that'd be fucking phenomenal. And I don't say the F-bomb much on stream or much on the channel in general. Trust me, I swear all the time. But I swear lightly when it comes to my channel, because I want, kids and stuff to be able to watch my videos if this is something that they're into, the younger generations. Yeah, I'll be super stoked if I can get 3-2. I'll be perfectly happy. My goal is best chaos, so or best whatever, however they do it, whatever the chaos faction one will be, because I know they're gonna do some faction awards, so I'm guessing it's gonna be best chaos, best Imperium, and best Xenos. But so that is my goal. My goal is that. So I put a lot of work into that Chaos Demon Engines list, or the Nurgle Demon Engines list, and I've been playing it on stream. Luckily, a lot of the guys that I play against, now the guys here will have a obvious advantage because they've all played that list and they kind of know what it does. Like 4 of our guys from the local area are going, but anyone else though, I think it'll take them by surprise. So I think it'll be awesome. And so there we go. So as you guys can see, so now I've got, oh crap, no, I missed the whole area. There we go. Now I got it. There we go. Kind of feel like I want to do like red contrast on the flames, but I don't know. We'll let those 3 dry. Wow, that looks really cool. Like, I kind of wish you guys could actually see what it does look like a wet blend, like Dave did mention. So I'm not really good at the wet blending thing. Not gonna lie, I'm not that great at it. But so the mediums, so these mediums actually help a lot if you're trying to wet blend, because it does keep the paint wet longer. So you can put it directly on the model. Yes, Jake, the list is mono Nurgle, so I'm actually going to be registered as a Nurgle list as opposed to Chaos. So scrolling back up real quick to take a look. Yep, nope, I'm glad that they nerfed Iron Hands, so good talk there. Not a person who randomly gives out compliments. I am so stealing that for some of my Tzeentch stuff. No, I'm glad, Jake. So, like I said, these contrasts are actually pretty cool. There's a lot of things you can do with them, and you can do a lot more advanced things. This is just something that my buddy mentioned that you could try, and I'm trying it, and it's working freaking awesome. So, so awesome. So, nope, I agree. You can beat Marines. It's not easy, and yeah. It's definitely not easy. So, no, I love Morty. Morty is actually an amazing model. I had so much fun painting him. That's why I just could not stop. I was just like, I did the 3 or 4 streams or whatever where I painted him. And we got him to the point where basically it was just like a few highlights and like finishing the wings. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do these. And I just did them. I just spent like an hour the next 2 nights finishing them up, and then I posted pictures of them. So, yeah. So hopefully people weren't too salty that I didn't finish them on stream. So, yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I love Morty too, Jake, and I'm trying to find a list that I like him in. Right now I've just got that little test list, but it's allowing me to test a lot of different ideas. And so I'm hoping that it'll allow me to kind of like implement that idea into... So I have a couple things that I'm thinking of doing. One is not a mono Slaanesh, but a Slaanesh list with Contorted Epitome and the Helldrakes. We've talked about it on the Discord. So, but I need 2 more Helldrakes to actually make that a thing. So that's a thing that I am working on, is getting 2 more Helldrakes so I can do that. The other thing I want to do is do a mono Tzeentch list. Now, the mono Tzeentch list requires me to have more models. So some things that I need to get more flamers. So 3 more flamers. I do need Zangors, so I need more Zangors. And so kind of the whole idea behind that list is actually super smite spam. You guys kind of see a 1500 point of that on the, so I put it up on the Discord chat. And that's kind of a 1500 point version of what I'm thinking. And I can tweak it from there. But I want flamers in the list, because flamers I think have a lot of merit, especially against Marines, because it gives you another way to get to those super juicy characters. You could do... I have an Exalted Flamer, so that's another guy that I could throw in there. So just some ideas. But yeah, I'm testing multiple things out, and the Morty thing, I'm just not sure where I want to take it. I don't have Magnus, which is an obvious fit, but yeah. Still working on that, but I agree. And that's why Morty's kind of a second thing. Like the Nurgle Demon Engines are kind of my thing right now, and I feel super confident with that list. I don't feel so confident when I put Mortarion on the table, because he is very, very super good, but he also can be very super bad. So there's that. So yeah, no, thanks, Dave. I think these guys are turning out really, really well. I'm waiting for them to dry so I can show you like a dried version of it. So the blue horrors have now dried up. So as you can see, so this is kind of like what I was thinking, that light blue, just that ephemeral like watercolor look. Like these look like they've been touched by, you just painted them with the watercolors like when you were a kid. And this is what I want. Like this is exactly what I was trying to aim for. And I love that the contrast also gets in those crevices, so it makes it pop more. So with the horrors, now I actually have to dry brush these guys. So we'll do that here in a second. Let me finish addressing everybody's comments real quick, and then we'll move to that. So yeah, Morty goes, "Hey, Papa Monkey, welcome." He just snuck in here and just throws a comment in there. So yeah, Ultramarines aggressors. Even Raven Guard aggressors are mean. Faced those today. That was not good. So can't spoil that though. Oh god, 2-point brimstones with a 4-up. Oh, It'd be gross though. That's OP. That is OP-ness. Not gonna lie, man. That's OP-ness. 3+. So I do agree. So I don't know why they took away. So I get why we lost the +1 invulnerable save on a greater demon for the Lord of Change, because it gave him a 2+ invulnerable save. I think they should have capped it at a maximum of a 3++, because horrors were not like spending 2 CP to make my horrors 3-up invulnerable saves wasn't like retardedly OP. It's 2 CP, their toughness 3, and they have a 3-up save. Yes, they have storm shields, but their toughness 3, so it's not hard to kill them. With a 3-up save, it makes them quite a bit more sturdier. But yeah, I don't know why they took it away from horrors though. Like, come on, man, come on. So, all right, so we've got the flamers. They're over to the side. Let those guys dry. So I'm gonna move the contrast out of the way for a minute. So for my highlight for the for my blue horrors, how many guys we got hanging out today? I have not seen. We got 3. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. So welcome, everybody. If I have not said welcome to you yet. So which brush should I use for these guys? I'm going to use... Oh... I need to buy another one of these. So this is like my favorite brush, and I need to buy another one. So as you guys can see, it's all curved. Oh, I need to buy a new one. Maybe that's what I'll do on payday. Or actually, maybe that's what I'll do with the Patreon funds this month. I'll actually go out and buy some new brushes for these paint streams. Your painting utensils are incredibly, incredibly important. So, you know what? Let's go with this one. Yeah, I think it's kind of weird that they have the half smite thing, which is weird. I get why they would have nerfed it. Like, with the half smite, I think that it shouldn't scale up the smites, you know? Because you're still casting on a 5-up, and you have a 33% chance of it going off, assuming it goes off on a 5, you know? And really, it's only, isn't it 1 damage smites too? Yeah, it's only 1 damage unless it's pink horrors casting it. So in which case, why does it matter if my brimstones are casting out on a 5-up? Like 1 mortal wound, cool. I don't know. That's kind of a weird thing. That was weird. Could be just my opinion though. I mean, everything's my opinion when I'm talking. All right. Is this gonna be? No, this will be fine. So I'm using Lothran Blue, and so this is gonna be my dry brush highlight for the blue horrors. And so, like I said, this worked out really well for the pink horrors. I'll show you guys an example of one of my pink horrors here, and after I do these blues real fast. And so, just by just doing a light highlight over them, it allows the blue to stand out more on the raised areas, and then that contrast blue deep inside those crevices, you know, it doesn't all look like the same shade of blue, you know. It makes it pop a little bit more. So that's why I said, I mean, you could I could technically just leave this with the contrast, and it would probably look it'd be passable, you know. But I like to hit them with a nice dry brush of blue. So Boom. Nice and done. So there we go. And go through and just dry brush all these guys real quick. So I'm also going to do this to those flamers that I just did that fading effect on. And what I'm going to do for those is I'm going to actually I'm going to dry brush each of the sections with their respective color highlights. Now I don't know if I have a I don't think the Nurgling green will work out very well because I think it's a little too it's too what do I want to say, pastel. Yeah, it's too much of a pastel color, so I might have to hold off on dry brushing the green for now. I do need to actually go buy more Etonian camo shade. I'm actually pretty much out, so that'll actually give me a reason to go buy like another light green for the faded areas, you know. And luckily I do have a purple, so I have a purple, and I think Mephiston red will be fine for the red areas. So, and so there we go. So it doesn't look too much different from this, especially on camera, you know. Like these guys probably look exactly the same, but oh, actually you can kind of tell. So the one on the left is the one I've highlighted, and so it actually fills in the blue a lot more, so the blue areas don't look as like you just washed it over white, you know. So, and it makes them pop quite a bit more. And so I promised you guys a pink horror. Yeah, grab one real quick. And so this is an example of a pink horror that I did this way. So this was using the voluptuous pink contrast, watered down heavily, super heavily, and then I went ahead and I dry brushed over it with pink horror, I think it was. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Emperor's Children. I did Emperor's Children over them. And so, and then there you go. So, and these guys really pop too. I need to hit up all their bracelets and stuff with silver and all that fun stuff, and I think I'm going to do all their flames blue, kind of like how I did Mortarian's flames. I've really liked how Mortarian's flames turned out, but yeah, but we're not there right now. We're painting some blue horrors, so I'm trying to just get some color on a lot of stuff, because I'm tired of playing with models that are white. Like after playing with a fully painted army, now I test out new stuff for the channel on my battle reports, but being only a one-man channel, you definitely have a lot of limitations that some of these bigger channels have, you know, where they've got like 4 or 5 dudes that are playing, because then, you know, you guys can share painting or share models or borrow each other's stuff. And so here it's just me with myself and I. But I will say, like the guys around here, they definitely support the channel. A lot of them love being on battle reports. I've actually pretty blessed with having so many. I guess we could be friends. Yeah, I guess I'd call them friends. Some of y'all out there, and they're actually a lot of them love to be on the battle reports, so which is a lot of fun. So, all right, talk to you later, Jake. So next week you actually have time to hit an RTT. So yeah, let me know, man. Let me know. So. Yes, and I will definitely talk about your list. You let me know what event that was, and I will definitely talk about your list. So, you have a fine evening, buddy. Alright, so there's 3 blue horrors all highlighted. Let's go ahead and do this next one. Now I will say the contrast washes on these guys, some of them are definitely lighter than others, but the highlight's still good though, still real good. And my eyes have a hard time picking up when I'm doing these highlights unless it's like an obvious like pow. And so I'm just kind of making sure that I hit this whole model all over. Because it was more obvious to me with the ones that had heavier washes. This guy is so light that actually it's really hard to tell what parts I haven't hit. Part of getting old, man. Part of getting old. Alright, there's that one. How's everybody else doing tonight? What are you guys painting? I know I've got more people on stream here. I can see my numbers. You guys tell me what you're painting. Let's talk. That way it's not just me talking to myself, which I do quite a bit. I will say being on stream though, especially when I'm painting, actually drives me quite a bit. Definitely inspires me to keep painting, and definitely hopefully you guys who do join in here enjoy these paint streams. So I learn just as much as you guys, especially when I get a lot of cool ideas from the chat. Yeah, there we go. Boom. Maybe I will conquer all these pink horrors next. Oh God. 46. 46 poxwalkers, man. What the hell? Oh man, I got some tips for poxwalkers if you want them. So I painted 50 of those bastards, and they were actually the first models that I painted when I got back into this game. And trust me, they were a nightmare. I was so excited when I was done with them. Now I still have actually 3 or 4 of them that I need to finish, but I'm not going back. Also because I never ever use all 50 poxwalkers. I actually had painted them back when the pox spam was still allowed, and when I started learning the game I was allowed to do it, but then I think I might have been playing 2 months, and then they nerfed it, and then I couldn't do it anymore. So occasionally my poxwalkers see the field. Kill team, they definitely see the field. They're good in kill team. So some tips for poxwalkers. All right, so I can do this real quick. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I'm grabbing a few of them. Yeah, let's see. Grab him. Just grab him. All right. So a few tips for poxwalkers. So when I did these poxwalkers, like I said, I had just gotten back into 40K, so they're definitely not up to par with some of my newer models, but I actually still get a lot of compliments about them. So, so this guy right here. So the way I did these, which made it really, really easy, so I went ahead and wash painted them. So when I got back into the game, I decided, oh, I'll look up easier ways to paint stuff. And so the way I would do the skins is actually I would prime them all white. So I primed all the poxwalkers white. And then I went through and hit different. So this one right here is one color and this one's another color. So as you can tell, they're different colors. And so this guy, I actually would wash over him twice with a Thonian Camoshade. And so this was just the skin. And then I picked a common pattern for the pants. So the pants are red with just the buckles are silver. And then the weapons, I just kept them simple. I painted them just silver, so just lead belcher, and then I washed them with Nuln Oil to keep it real easy. And then I hit up the bony bits. So any bony arms and stuff, I would do like, I think I used pallid witch flesh at that time for my bone. And like looking at them, I can tell like things that I definitely have improved on. But what it does is it makes it really, really fast. And you actually get some variation in your Poxwalkers just by the skin color. And because the skin color is so much of the model, nobody really notices that they're all wearing the exact same pants. I actually get a lot of compliments. And so the way I did it was 20 or 10 of them are green, 20 are darker brown, so this was Agrax Earthshade, and then 20 were Reichland Flesh Shade, or something like that, or the purple, I think. Did I use purple? I can't remember what the third shade was. But makes for really quick Poxwalkers. I was able to get them all done. And then I went through and actually hit up all like the warts and stuff with Seraphim Sepia and made them kind of yellowish. Like I said, looking at this guy, like I've definitely improved. But they still look good on the table though. And en masse, nobody ever notices. So... but hopefully that helps you out, man. Wash painting is one of definitely worth it for massive amount of guys. Now, I mean, obviously you can do the contrast now. Yeah, Rakarth Flesh Shade. And so, yeah, I mean, obviously you can use contrast now to do it if you wanted to. But I would still probably say wash painting is actually a lot of fun. I like doing it. You know, that's how I did Mortarian's Wings. And it's still a very commonly used technique in my arsenal. So did that help, Dave? Hopefully it helped you a little bit. I'm sure you already knew that because you already knew wet blending, so but that's definitely how I painted my Poxwalkers. That's how I'll paint the 2 or 3 others that I still have left that I might not ever paint because they might not ever see the table. They're like blemishes though. Like they just sit there, and I've got like 2 or 3 just white Poxwalkers sitting in this wave of painted guys, and it's like, ugh. But then I'm like, I got other things I gotta paint. I gotta paint things that I might actually play with first. Now, why I'm painting the blue horrors, you might ask. Because who plays blue horrors? So, you still will use, for splitting, you know, for the split trick with your horrors. Which is to say, if you save 5 points for your horrors and you lose one, you can spend 5 points to split into a blue, right? Well, the benefit of that is that you just split within coherency of the squad. Now, a neat thing is that nothing says that you cannot place the now spawned blue horror closer to the enemy unit than you were at. So, the way this tactic works is that you charge the pink horrors into a unit. The unit is then forced to overwatch you. They shoot at you. Your hope is that they kill at least one guy from your pink horror squad. They kill one guy from your pink horror squad. You go ahead, you spend the 5 points, and you spawn a blue horror. Now you spawn that blue horror 2 inches away from the front line. So you actually get like 2.5 extra inches, or I think it ends up like 2.25 inches closer charging, right? Because I'm now spawning this guy 2 inches from the squad within coherency, so now I can charge from the blue horror into the squad. Because Overwatch is done before you roll the charge. So, neat little trick. Now, that's one reason I'm painting these, because obviously I've been using a lot of pink horrors, so I need some blue horrors that are actually painted, which I still need to paint the pink horrors, but we'll get to that. These guys are actually, the blue horrors are a hell of a lot easier, because they don't have nearly as many, like, bracelets and stuff that the pink horrors have. The pink horrors actually have a lot of little trinkets all over them, but, like, these guys have a couple bands on their tails, and So these guys are actually going to be super, super easy to paint. And I think I'm going to do the flames on these guys like, I don't know, pink? Actually, that'd be kind of funny. The blue horrors have pink flames and the pink horrors have blue flames. That would also blend. That would actually look really good because then I'm kind of like mixing the colors between the pinks and the blues. And pink and blue actually look very, very nice together. But yeah, so I'm painting them for that. And then the second reason I'm painting them is so I've picked up a second unit of Brimstone Horrors. So Brimstone Horrors are becoming my new favorite troop unit. They are cheaper than Cultists. They serve pretty much the exact same purpose as Cultists. You know, they're toughness 3. They can park themselves on an objective. The only benefit they get over Cultists is that they have a 6-up invulnerable save. And they are also a hell of a lot easier to hide. They are so teeny. So you can hide those guys everywhere. Now, you can't make a super cheap battalion or anything out of them. Oh, I mean, you kind of can. So with 3 units of Brimstones and 2 Change Casters, you know, you're talking about 210 points. So, I mean, you could do it at a kind of a super cheap battalion, but that's not what they're for. Now, with the Brimstones, if they cast Smite, you actually need to kill a model from the unit. Now, you're not going to smite too often with the Brimstones, not going to lie, unless you're like running a lot of Thousand Suns that don't get the escalating smites, because then you can start out with the Brimstones and then move from there, you know, until you get to your 1,000 Suns, which is kind of the idea I'm going with. But if you put a blue horror in the squad, so you take out 1 pink, you pay an extra 2 points to basically put in a blue, the blue allows you to smite without killing a model from the unit. Make sense? And so that's kind of, like I said, I'm thinking of like a super smitey armory. Now, it is only a 1 wound smite, but it's still 1 extra wound that I wasn't doing before. So so the list idea in my head is some Rubric Marines, some Gores, you know, a bunch of HQs, a Lord of Change, stuff like that. And essentially everything in the army can cast spells for the most part. And so what it does is it allows me to pour the mortal wounds at my opponents. So, yeah. It's another list idea. I have so many ideas that I don't implement either. But I'm working on it. As the model collection for the channel grows, such does my mind expand and I try new things. And then I film my experiences for y'all to hopefully help you guys out. Let me go ahead and text the life back. Oh, man. All right. So feel free to chat with me, guys. You guys are really quiet tonight. I think there's only like 2 people here, maybe. I got 3. I got 3 viewers right now. So, okay. Well, the flamers are still drying. Still drying. Sorry, I'm getting some of this contrast that's pulled up in some areas out, because I don't want it to end up, like I said, it can get really glossy, kind of like a wash, you know. So this is how the for you guys who are just joining the channel, so this right here is what I'm thinking for the Lord of Change that I kept talking about. So it's kind of a gradient fade, so it fades from the blue out to the yellow on the heads and the arms and the body here. And as you guys can see in between, because I painted this while it was wet with the blue and the yellow contrast, it's faded into basically a green contrast in between, which looks fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very happy with the way this effect turned out. And so what I'm doing is I don't want it to pull up too bad, and I'm just going through and just kind of dabbing off while these guys dry. The green parts seem to be pulling much worse than the blue or the yellow. The blue is almost dried, but it turned out really neat. I cannot wait to get this effect on the Allure to Change. Cannot wait. Ooh, that pulled up real bad on the back side of this guy. There we go. Yeah, that pulled up really bad. Okay. Just kind of spreading out the green a little bit. Whew. So that would have been a super dark area. All right. I know, this is super exciting. See? So he's actually really dark. He's much darker than the, I think this was like the first one I did. Yeah, I can't wait, Dave, man. This looks great. Oh, man. I'm gonna have to send pictures of this to Riddick, too. Be like, hey, man. So your idea, so it worked, and this is how it turned out, and yeah. I mean, just look at that. That's just so cool. And my wife's gonna love these too. She absolutely loves this sort of stuff. She loves a lot of color. She doesn't like when I paint like super realistic models. Because I like grit and grime on them, you know, make them look all gritty. She hates that. She absolutely hates that. She'll look at a model and be like, it looks so pretty before you put all that muck on it. Yeah, I guess. Alright, let's see. Oh, so the iridescent horror, and then I have the, my other fake caster with the staff. So the question is, do I go ahead and attempt another... Actually, I could do that. So I think I'm going to do the iridescent horror, which is going to be this guy. I think I'm going to do contrast blue. Or should I do contrast red and yellow? So I'm thinking red and blue turns into purple. But I don't know if I want that. I know I want to do red. Red and yellow, it's kind of fiery though. So the bases on these, I was thinking of doing like almost like a portal on their bases, but really I think I'm just gonna go with what I've been basing everything in, which is yeah. So here's a brimstone horror. So it's just nice and plain. It's just the brown earth with just a highlight. And what it is it's the exact same basing as pretty much everything else, except for my my venom crawlers. My venom crawlers have a different basing, but I don't know. I really kind of want to do like a portal that they're coming out of. I just don't know how to do it, or like maybe how people like do those nebula bases. Maybe I can do something like that. That's a good question. I haven't really thought that far. I have not thought that far ahead. Oh man. Now I have to think of what I'm going to base them. Alright. I think I have to do red and yellow. Yeah. I think I'm going to do red and yellow. Man, that's like McDonald's colors though. But I do need to see what the red's going to turn out like. I already know how the yellow and blue fade. Alright, we're going to do red. Command decision, red. Alright. Opening this up. It's a fresh pot, so. Alright, let's see how the red to yellow fade's going to turn out. So, like I said, these are ultimately all tests, and I know I'm painting active models that I'm going to be using. So I'm testing on models that I actually use. But it's to give me an idea of what I'm going to be working with when I get to Big Bird. So, so let's see. So contrast red is pretty deep. It's a pretty deep color right there. I don't know, Dave. What would you base these? Let's see. You give me an idea. I think the nebula base idea would be cool. I've never done the nebula painting style. I know it's not that hard. Pretty much it's just like doing flecks of white with lighter flecks of white in the middle to get the little nebula looking thing going. But I am up for suggestions. Trust me, people have suggested things on these streams and I'm like, that is super cool, and then I'll do them. Because I am not against using people's ideas when you guys give them to me. So I think the stream tonight, the goal will be to basically get the ground color laid on these next two HQs. And then from there, I'll probably call it a night. Because tomorrow I do have a live stream. So for you guys, hopefully you guys can make it. I know not everybody can make it. But 11 a.m. Eastern time is when I do run my weekly live stream where I talk about like lists and things that I've seen in the meta that look super interesting. Talk about the channel. You know, I talked a little bit about some of the stuff that's coming up earlier in the stream. But these streams are more like just to hang out and chat. And that's what I like. I like hanging out and chatting. So so I'm trying to like avoid talking about like meta and all that sort of stuff, because that sort of stuff I talk about all the time, and it's fun and all, but you kind of want to break sometimes. So you have no idea. You suck at basing, but the nebula thing does sound cool. It does sound cool. I'm gonna have to look into it, because I would say probably like a purple nebula might be kind of cool for the bases. I just got to look into how to actually do it. So, oh man, I didn't do very well with priming him. I sucked. Alright, so let's go ahead and adjust the camera, because I know you guys have had a hard time seeing what I've been doing. So, alright, let's see. So I think I want to do the red. Just kind of do the hand. I kind of know how I'm going to do this now. Okay. I think I've thought this out now. Huh. The red is definitely not as dark as I thought it was going to be. It's definitely a lot lighter. So like I said, these are contrast colors I've not dealt with. And so I'm kind of experimenting a little bit as I go. So this guy right here, you treat him as a change caster. So normally he runs as a HQ choice. When I need one without a staff, because the staff is an extra piece of war gear, which to me is kind of dumb. Honestly, it should be included, especially for 10 points, or 5 points, sorry, which is kind of ridiculous, really, when you think about it, because it doesn't do much. It increases the smite range by 18 inches, which sounds really good, but then when you realize he can only cast one spell, which he's never going to be casting smite usually, it's kind of a waste of 5 points. So yet another thing that kind of shows the outdatedness of the Demons Codex, because we've got a lot of war gear options that are just absolutely like, why would anybody ever take this ever? Or why would I spend extra points on this? There you go. Alright, trying to get all the red. So getting the red on his face, getting the red on the sides here. So the blend's about to come up. And so this is me testing out the red to yellow blend on this guy. And so I'll show you guys here in a second because I'm almost done with the red. All right. Make sure I hit every part of the model real quick. I missed all under here. Just right there. Just right there. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit his teeth. Why not? Just that way, when I do go over the teeth, I can, because I'm gonna do white. But so I went ahead and hit basically everywhere that wasn't his stomach. And then so the stomach is going to be the yellow. So I'm going to hit the stomach right here with the yellow. And then I'm just going to kind of move it out into the red. And so that's going to turn into an orange. See, this isn't as kapow as the other ones. So the effect of the red to the yellow is not nearly as amazing as the effect of the yellow to the blue. That was super anticlimactic. I thought it was going to be like super like bam. Like, look at this. Look at this orange. And it was not. So I'm actually going back over it with a little bit of red. And let's go ahead and, because I want that orange to pop more, so I'm actually mixing the yellow with the red now. But man, it is super underwhelming. All right. Well then, good sir. I mean, it's going to make for a nice gradient fade here in the middle. But, like I said, as you guys can tell, maybe not so nice. There you go. But it's not as... So, like, here was our flamer, you know. It's not nearly as apparent, even in person. Like, I'm looking at this right now, and I'm like, Okay. So hopefully the red to blue mixes a little better to make the purple. That was really underwhelming. It's like wah wah wah. Yeah, hopefully it does look better. I mean, like I can't believe how well this one turned out, and it just like looking at it, I don't know. I guess after seeing this one, maybe it's just not as amazing. Like I'm looking at it, I'm like, eh. So we'll let them dry though. We'll let the oh crap. Man, don't you hate that when you sit down a model and then you notice an area that you just completely missed? There we go. I had completely missed the backside of his arm. Alright. Alright. Now he's done. Now he can dry. Alright, so we're on our last model of the night to get base coated. And so you know what, for him, I think we'll do yellow. So I'm using all the rest of this yellow. Crap. Ran out. No, that's true. That is true, Dave. You actually make a good point there. Could be the model. It just doesn't stand out nearly as well, which is true. Because with the flamers, you know, there's a lot of little nooks and crannies in surface area, and the difference between blue and yellow is pretty massive, you know, as opposed to red and yellow. I know that. I don't know. We'll see, man. It could have just been where I painted it at. It just didn't stand out nearly as much. But yeah, we'll see. But you make some good points. You make some very, very good points. But yeah, I'm actually a huge fan of these contrast paints. I know they're not the most. I'm not the most technical painter in the world. I just kind of slap paint on stuff. But they do allow me to do some cool stuff that, I don't know, they allow me to experiment. I'm not quite to the level of like going out and picking out just different types of paints or whatever, and knowing what they're going to do for me, or I still ask a lot of opinions of other people, and you know, ask how do they paint stuff, or what effects they use for certain things. It also helps that I don't meta chase, so I can actually take time to paint the models that I want to paint, as opposed to painting the models that are newest, bestest, craziest, whatever, just to get some paint on them so that I can take them to a tournament and stomp faces. I mean, I stomp faces, don't get me wrong, but I've got my face stompies if I need to. Alright, so for this guy, I'm doing him all yellow. And then what I'm going to do, because I really liked how this turned out, But, so I'm taking some water, I'm putting it in the contrast. Now contrast breaks down really, really fast with water. But what I want to do is sorry, I'll let you guys see what I'm doing here in a minute. So I'm hoping this turns out pretty cool. Yet another thing I'm just kind of messing with. I'm just toying with ideas right now and just kind of messing around. Like I said, I do use these models, but so if these ideas do not work out, I'll be playing with a model that might have some funky stuff going on, but same points, I think that this is actually going to turn out kind of cool. As a matter of fact, this would actually be a really cool thing to do with, if you're a fan of, if you play the Sauruses or whatever, the Seraphim. Go ahead and put more water in here. So maybe you guys can guess what I'm trying to do. Especially because I keep adding more water to this. But so hopefully you guys can see. But why I did it that way, by watering it down, it allows it to run really, really super thin all over the model. And so it kind of makes it give it almost like a chameleonic look. So that's kind of what I'm going for. Now I got to kind of put them upside down because all the contrast is kind of leaking down to the bottom of them. Here, I'll do that a little bit. So I'm going to actually put them upside down right here. Like that. And then that way all the contrast hopefully leaks up him. And then he'll have like almost a mottled green and yellow going on. So the reason why I watered down the contrast real good, I'm losing my voice now if you can't tell. The reason why I watered it down real good is that way when I put it on, it just kind of ran wherever. I could have left it thicker, but I think it would have just been like too almost like planned, like I was planning where I was putting it. So I want it to be like super random. And so hopefully you guys can kind of see. His skin is all different colors, so. But yeah, trying some different stuff out. I think it'll look pretty neat. So I tried a bunch of different things out tonight. Bunch of different things. Using some new paints, using some new colors. Make sure all these are shut up. So yeah, that's it for tonight's live stream. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun, hanging out with you guys, talking. I'm glad a lot of the talk was not meta talk tonight. Like I said, I get a lot of that. So, but yeah. So hopefully you guys have a fine evening. Go ahead and shut up my palette. I did not actually use my wet palette at all tonight, because I was just doing contrast colors mostly. And then when I dry brush, I just dip it right out of the pot and put it right on the right on my tissue here. dabbing off some of this excess paint on my chameleonic fake caster. I think it turned out pretty cool. I think a little too much. I made it a little too watery, so it kind of got into a lot of the crevices. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty cool. So I think it'll be pretty neat. So like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this live stream. Please, 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 if you guys can make it tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern time, I will be back. And we will talk about meta stuff, and we'll talk about lists, and we'll do all that fun jazz. But other than that, I enjoyed having you guys, and so I will see you guys later here on Heretic Wargaming, where chaos reigns. That's our new slogan. So, yeah, chaos reigns.